It ain't enough that I gotta be the one thinking this whole shit through. That I gotta be one looking out for this shit and that shit, checking up on this, making sure this shit is done. No, that's not enough, nah. That's why they be paying them fucking CEOs so much damn money. Because when the shit fall bad, it all fall bad on them. Everybody else could be ducking and hiding, doing what they fucking wanna do. But when push come to shove, I'm the one that's gotta take that responsibility. And y'all are leaving me very, very little to work with right now.
Hold up, sir.
Nah, it's a very simple thing, my nigga, very simple. You drive the guns to the water. You look around, you ain't see anybody, you throw the guns in the water. Splash. Now get the fuck out of here, man.
Alright, y'all. Today, we're gonna be talking about my love-hate relationship for Russell Stringer Bell, the second in command of the Barksdale organization. Now, the way I tend to criticize Stringer's mentality, it may come off as though I strictly dislike the man, but that's not entirely accurate. See, although not many, I do appreciate some of the qualities of Stringer Bell. And ironically, when he was killed at the end of season 3, my enthusiasm for the show was diminished a bit. I really didn't want Stringer to die. I believe that his character and his ideology was so paramount to the show that killing him off was both great and a disservice to future seasons. Because by season 4, Avon's storyline was over. He was in jail. But Marlo would be an appropriate replacement for him. But as far as Stringer go, not Chris, not Slim Charles, or anybody for that matter really filled that void that Stringer left. This is why season 1 will always be classic to me.
That Barksdale kid is a cousin to Avon Barksdale.
Who?
Avon Barksdale, Stringer Bell. Crew that's been running Franklin Terrace for a year.
Stringer Bell.
Yeah, that was him in court with the legal pad and the glasses, scaring the living shit out of every witness. Him and the rest of his crew. Weebay, Savino, Stinkin.
I saw.
Think about clearing the court?
On what basis? It's an open court, a free nation of laws.
I thought it was Baltimore.
Now, during season 1, Avon and Stringer were like LeBron and Kyrie in the 2016 finals. They just might have been unstoppable. And just like Kyrie, Stringer hit that clutch 3 in McNulty's face, killing Wallace before he had a chance to testify in court. Now, understand this, y'all. Even if you're a cold-hearted person, the killing of Wallace in that abandoned house by his best friends was a sad scene to take in for anybody. And the acting in that scene was truly exceptional. So let's tip our hats off to Michael B. Jordan and where this took his career. But still, the decision might have been cold, but I can't fully disagree with Stringer's logic in this situation. Wallace might have been young and a good kid, but his death was not unwarranted. First off, the same way that Bodie was so eager to kill Wallace in that abandoned house for Stringer, let's not forget that Wallace was just as eager to give up the drop on Brandon, Omar's boyfriend. And this one act takes you out of the realm of innocence or some kind of victim.
Told you.
Yo, he's still in there?
Yeah, he in there playing the games.
All right. You sharp, son. What's your name?
Wallace.
Wallace? All right. This nigga gonna point him out to us, all right?
Now, the next morning, after seeing the results of that phone call that he made, all those visible signs of torture on Brandon, this image was just too overwhelming for Wallace. He thought that he was doing the right thing by calling D'Angelo and pointing out one of the guys who robbed him. But he didn't fully comprehend what he was being an accomplice to.
He was all cut up and shit. His insides was hanging out. It's fucked up, yo. I mean, damn.
Sometimes you gotta send a message, yo. I mean, Yo, when you picked up that phone, what you think they was gonna do, huh? Shit, all that shit is in the game, man. You know that.
Thing about it was his eye. His eye was blown out, and the other one was open. And yo, dig, it fucks me up. It's like he's looking out, like he sees everything, you know?
Don't think about it.
I can't. Fuck.
And the feeling that a dead man is specifically looking at you is simply the result of a guilty conscience. And that guilt that Wallace was carrying around was so heavy that it led him to using dope. Not weed, not pills or liquor, but dope. In the streets, heroin is one of the major drugs that in due time, it will dismantle all of your rules and all of your principles.
You know how that go, right? Gave myself all these little rules about what I wouldn't do. Like I told myself I'd do a lot of shit to get high, but I swore I would never trick. So after I'm tricking, I thought, well, you know, this ain't so bad. I'll do this for a while, so I have to make some more rules for myself, like I'm gonna use condoms. And I'm never gonna go with more than one guy at the same time, and well, let's just say there are certain things I told myself I wouldn't ever do.
Now, a homicide detective literally told me this, that they're aware that most street guys nowadays abuse Percocets, so they use this to their advantage. They intentionally leave us in a holding cell for hours. Then they come in to question us when we're already physically and mentally uncomfortable or in anguish. Now, this may be a bit exploitive, but it's also effective. When a person is sick because they ain't have their shot in a few hours, self-discipline becomes very hard to maintain. We end up doing something or saying something that we otherwise wouldn't in a normal state. Notice that as soon as Wallace detox off the drugs at his grandma's house, he comes back to the projects with a clear mind, not weak and distracted because he's compelled to feed a habit every few hours. So the chances of McNulty catching up to Wallace and him continuing to snitch drop drastically. Mind you, they didn't even have a charge on Wallace. He only told because he was using and because the deed was weighing heavy on his heart.
Kid gave us a murder. More than that, he's put in Stringer Bell.
Oh, yeah?
Picks out Weebay, Bird, and Stinkum from photo arrays. Puts them all up at the Greeks the night they grab up Omar's boy, Brandon. Puts Bell in the truck, too. Says Stringer told him to point out the stick-up boy.
Jeez, what do you have over here?
Not a fucking thing. Kid was ready. Barely had to push him. When I grab him up, I swear he's halfway into a nod.
Use it?
When they killed the stick-up boy, the motherfuckers dumped the body in the alley right behind where this kid and all the other low-rise hoppers lay their heads. Can you imagine? All he can think about.
You tell him he's gonna have to testify?
Not yet, we'll get there.
So, due to the fact that Wallace broke two major rules and became a liability, I can't really argue with Stringer Bell cleaning up house. And it did work out in his favor. But he didn't have to use his two best friends to kill him. That was the cold part to me. Remember what Chris said in season 4?
Boy worked for Bodie. First time must be someone he ain't know.
Which makes sense from a psychological perspective. But I don't really expect Stringer to care about the trauma of his soldiers.
Why? Why? Because the man said so, that's why. Wallace ain't no snitch. Man, how you know? How you know where he been running to? He was getting high. I seen him caught. He probably went down to the shore to clean that shit up. Man, if he using it, you know he ain't reliable. Come on, think. Look, the man gave the word, all right? We either step up or we step the fuck off. That's the game, yo. Fucking game.
Another thing, how many people noticed the small similarities between the death of Wallace and of Stringer? Now, I brushed it off at first, thinking I might be reaching. But as I said on it, it's just too many signs for it to be a coincidence. Now, Pete, both Wallace and Stringer ended up snitching before they died. Both of them went up some stairs before they were killed. Both of them were killed by two people that they knew at gunpoint. Both of them believed that the game would be better if there was less killing.
I mean, I like what you said about all that killing, you know? Especially that part about how it ain't gotta be like that. Just sell the shit and move on.
I mean, we passed that running gun shit, man. Like, we finance a package and we ain't gotta see nothing but bank. Nothing but cash. No corners, no territory, nothing.
Both of them tried to persuade their killers before dying. Wallace using the affection of their friendship.
Ain't gotta be like this, yo. We niggas, man, BC, remember that?
And Stringer using the prospect of money to become friends.
Money? Is that it? Cause if it is, man, I could be a better friend to y'all alive.
And just as Poop told Bodie,
Do it, goddammit, if you're gonna...
Stringer also told Omar and Brother Mozone,
Well, get on with it, motherfucker.
Now, for every quality that I like about Stringer Bell, there's a similar or equally important quality that I dislike about him. For example, one of the things I always admired about String is his ability to implement rules and structure into a drug organization. This he actually is good at. Notice the book that Shamrock is always reading before co-op meetings. Robert's Rules of Order is a book written by Henry Martin Roberts, a former officer in the American Army. Now, in the late 1800s, things were much more chaotic business-wise, and there wasn't a consensus on how to conduct ourselves. So the primary purpose of the book was to make business meetings more orderly and more efficient, which it accomplished, because by the early 1900s, politicians, academics, and even gangsters were taking etiquettes from this book, which Stringer Bell also benefited from.
Alright then. There it is. Look like we gonna make more money. Together.
Gotta say I'm proud of y'all for putting aside petty grievances and putting this thing together. For a cold ass crew of gangsters, y'all carried it like Republicans and shit.
Now, on the flip side of this, I consider Stringer Bell to be a man of weak principles. Now, I want to distinguish the difference between these two terms. Rules are external. They are laws imposed on us, which we must obey if we want to avoid a certain punishment or penalty. Whereas principles are internal. They are the fundamental ideas that govern our behavior. It is your principles that will force you to do what you believe is right or what is true. So remember, man, rules are imposed, but principles are built.
What? Why the fuck you didn't get all upset over some bullshit? Here we are, fucking year later. Everybody forgot about the shit. You go running your mouth about nothing at all?
But String.
What, and she gonna believe that shit too? I mean, what mom's is not gonna believe her son didn't kill himself?
String.
Huh? She gonna take that shit, go half crazy with it? You just what?
Sorry.
Now, remember when I said when Chris got locked up, the stupidity in Snoop started to show? Well, when Avon got locked up, the Snake and Stringer came right the hell out. This nigga String literally start fucking D baby mom. Then he decided to kill D'Angelo. Then he goes to the funeral. Then he goes to the repast and consoles his mom. Then at the end of season 3, had the nerve to make Dinette your girl. Now, D baby mom is okay looking. I mean, she not ugly at all. But like we say in jail, she ain't nothing to call home about. I mean, she alright. But when a man that you know go out of his way to obtain something that belongs to you, it is a sign of envy. It doesn't matter if he has more money or a higher status. Envy does not discriminate. Stringer could have got the baddest bitch in Baltimore if he wanted, but he chose to wife up annoying ass Dinette. In my opinion, this has less to do with her and more to do with D'Angelo. But in part 2, I'll go into more details with that. But I appreciate y'all for coming through for me again, y'all. I know it's been a long time coming, and I shouldn't be away for that long no time soon. But anyway, it's your boy Swartz, y'all. You hear it, a man's world. Like, comment, subscribe for me and all that. It's time for me to get out of here.